Hi, how's it? I just woke up. Yes, I went into bed with my scarf on, everything jazzy, because I was that cold last night after chatting. And my lips are shiny because I wake up like this, yes. No, they're shiny because I go to bed with a wad of lip gloss and it stays kind of put until morning. So this is my morning look. So literally I wake up like this. But you know what waking up in South Africa is like? It's just like putting that out there. Do you know what it's like? It's like waking up next to a man after like 3-4 years of marriage that married you, kakorobela, like ka witchcraft, like ka woza woza, like ka bring back a lost lover. So Gresham, you don't want to be with him. And then you find out 3-4 years down the line when you wake up next to this mbombla of a guy next to you in bed. What Gresham and you feel outy. Why am I this guy? Why am I with him? Yeah, that's what waking up in South Africa is like every morning. It's like waking up next to a husband you didn't sign up for, but that you were too like high on the supply of his occult drugs to decide not to accept the proposal like at all. That's how Korobela works, by the way. That's how the Huka Chaka Woza Meta Chui Santing. That's how they work. Yeah, they give you temporary, like disablement of faculties, make you feel a little bit dizzy with lust, and then it fades. It wears off, and when it does, you wake up next to a menacing monster that you did not sign up for. And you think that God Almighty is going to throw me into the hands of some Korobela little gangster. There's still no power. It's 8:59 in the morning. That's why waking up in South Africa is like waking up next to a deadbeat husband. It's nasty, it's gangsterous, you didn't sign up for it, and frankly, you were supposed to be born in another country, but here you are, living the African dream. I hate this country. I hate it with every bone in my body, and I'm gonna do everything to get out. Gotta go brush my teeth. Bye. Like the joint. It looks like a baloi, got just stuff. And I'm like, Patong, okaphela jwang in a country where every last Tom, Dick, and Harrison on the street. So phela jwang in a country that cuts power for like a good 2 days straight in suburbia. You would imagine that this Uncle Tom government that we have, that is into catering to white needs, would at least have a decency or manners to not cut power for 24 to 48 hours in a suburb. It's bad enough to get from one side of Soweto to the next because go dula power cuts more life thing. Thanks to Taba Hore, Hauna Taba, Limo to here in these streets. When it comes to people in the Soweto region, okay, no, never mind Soweto region. But when it comes to anyone at all, I get a government ya Uncle Tom. Even though eh. And so black people flood to suburbia whenever they want to be protected from the harsh elements that slap people in the ghettos. And then you move to the burbs. And you still have to deal with the podcast at 24 hours. What are you going to do? It's like the germ, the disease, the worm, whatever it might be, the gangrenous feast that's eating away at the like bone matter of a human individual in this country. Before. You would imagine that once a black government comes into power, that black people would be empowered. It's been like almost 30 years or whatever since 1994, and here it is, I was sitting over here, gathering dust, twiddling off fingers, dealing with 48-hour power cuts in suburbia. You thought it was Dobsonville nearly problem. Wait, is that abantu abanandaba? Abantu abenandaba nabo koval ki issue. But what hauna motho nang ditaba le bona, di power cuts abana di last a month yo yotlhe. And now it's coming to a suburb near you. It's coming to a suburb near you. Even white people are not exempt these days. Rodi puet. It is like a maburu. Mo lifing. Impa. Limona re tumpo ki di power cuts. It's 48 hours. I told you it's like waking up next to a deadbeat husband you didn't sign up for. And now you realize, oh, I'm tandy, but hey, you're stuck. I am a citizen of only one country and I hate it with every bone in my body. And the government is a freaking Uncle Tom that is starting to even drop the ball in terms of white service. Black people government north with twanging accents. Neighbor whose names are Jan and Jacobus, okay? And that didn't help. It's literally catching up with everybody, and you think that you can continue like this as a country. Like, lawyer, lose a career. Hey, the business that are in Roodepoort, the business that are in this neighborhood, what has become of them the past 48 hours? What? They're still a power guy. Like, literally, they had to just stop. Dead in their tracks. Generators only last for so long. You guys need to know and understand that, right? So if a company buys a generator to operate its business, it's trusting that the power will only be dead for like 2 hours tops. So what is becoming of these small to medium enterprises that are using generators when the power goes off? They are now also off because the generators are not quite coming back up for steam again. If it's a big company, a massive giant conglomerate or whatever, like an FMCG, like a supermarket, like a Pick n Pay or Woolies, perhaps their generators can last them 24, 48 hours, maybe 5 days, all week long. Mara, there are parts of this land that have cut power for people for an entire 3 weeks. And in those regions, there are FMCGs. So what happens to the supply chain when it is that a supermarket can't even order food anymore? At least perishable items. All you can stock on your shelves are cool beans that are in a can. How in the world? How in the world does a country like that thrive? How in the world does an economy like that grow? It's bad enough Russia and Ukraine and what's going on over there is taking away almost a third of the world's food supply, wheat supply. Now we have to deal with Tabawari. How do South Africa like a power cut at 24 hours? Never in my life would I ever have imagined that we'd ever deal with that kind of a crisis in this land, where you would have a power cut literally eating into the second day. Never mind, just 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 hours. But an entire langa in suburbia that is a thriving industrial complex, and so therefore there are businesses here that are making money for no, not them silly selves only, but the freaking economy of the country. They're gnawing away at their own gross domestic product. They're gnawing away at the fiber of their own communities, and they're gnawing away at the morale of countrymen on the ground. And you think as a country you're going to survive? That's what happens when you live in a kleptocracy. South Africa might want to call itself a democracy, but there's nothing like that about it under heaven. Nothing. It's a kleptocracy. It is a government or a country with a government that does nothing but steal from the people. You pay taxes, the landway, anazi, because electrical infrastructure is not being upgraded, and on top of that, neither are our roads. Nothing is okay. There are potholes everywhere. So where the hell is all of the money that taxpayers are paying? I'll tell you, in the pockets of corrupt politicians that are being made to stay in their lofty positions of insanity by those of you on the street because people are corrupt push each other. If at all you've got something on a lofty, however diseased morally politician, then this guy will be happy to give you some kind of a pass when Karabo brings a case against you. People like me, honest citizens, literally law-abiding, stellar citizens of a country, are suffocating under those that are corrupt. Corrupt people have each other's backs. Bribes. There's no honor among thieves. Blackmail. Blackballing. If you don't do this for me, I'm going to tell on you. So people have to be corrupt in order for a country, it's a kleptocracy, to continue to be a going concern. Otherwise, what are you going to do when you are dealing with corruption? What are you going to do when you are dealing on the ground with people that are trying to call it out, whistleblowers? There is no future amidst honest men for wicked men. There is no future. So what does South Africa do? It kills all its honest citizens while it upgrades, elevates, puts in lofty positions those that are happy to keep a secret because in and of themselves they've got too many dirty secrets, too many skeletons in their closets to ever be untrustworthy. There is no honor among thieves, but thieves also can't trust an honest man because an honest man is a whistleblower. So you keep each other powerful. So that belong to Abu Karabo, crippling your own economy with your random mediocrity and anticipate that your country is going to grow. All the best with that defeatist mindset where even Uncle Tommy Yen, with of a government that only serves the needs of white people in this country, can't even maintain its promise to Mahoa. In places like proper from the dusty streets of Soweto, and we come usher in these streets whose names are Jacobus and Ian, and we still have power cuts. At some point, a kleptocracy runs out of money because if at all you generate money that keeps on getting stolen, everything shrinks. Everything goes low. It's like shrinkage in a stocking model, a pricing model. Everything eventually decreases in size. It loses its value-making properties. So it does not matter how much money the country can make. All of it will continue to go into the pockets of these kleptomaniacs. They live in the government, they live in your friends and family members, they live among us, and they sadly outnumber us, and the honest among us are suffocating, and they're trying to leave. Those who can are doing so, but then there are others like Karabo who can't freaking leave this kleptocracy. Can't leave. And so I am subjugated to the tyranny of having to live in a country. It's bandits, a bunch of bandits. All they do is freaking steal. Well, stay with your country and your freaking lanterns. Dulang, I'm leaving. I will find a way out of this daggone kleptocracy. I'm leaving. Just you watch this space, you better mark my words. Hacking a bit, 49%, 48 and counting, 46 as we speak. And how about this busy? What am I going to do this entire day? I need to know. You? Okay. At least when I'm alive, I'm onions. I don't know where le Nando's, le mai, le stove tse di phegang kaofela, gas stove. Because rona mo South Africa tshwanetse re phela ka di-prima stove. Okay. Tshwanetse rona re di-introduce mo lifeng to paraffin via engathi it's the days of apartheid or something. Tshwanetse rona re lo ti-educator ka PG gas. Rona ba seng lani ba sa nang tšhelete ya go investa mo go di-solar panels and what not have you. Tshwanetse re ti-educate ka dikerese ro itse gore grand lantern e functiona e operator e bereka bjang. Bathong dijo ke tseo di wa molomong gobane ha ona ntho e sa vozeng e sa tholloheng mo South Africa. Se ke lena bona motho tla iketsang mo lifeng o tlo give up on what exactly ha ba go tumpa ka circumstance kana ya go ba this kind of nature. Ha hona motlakase, ha hona battery power. Gizara ke mo ya likara because I get why it connected to a lack of power. I want to space mo phone, so I'm running out of gas and just generally. I can't transfer my content. PC, personal computer, the type you plug in. So hopefully like nice. You know what I mean? You can't take the number I think. You're exhausted. Maranyaya. I'm a kleptocracy. So get rid of kita boleh kalah or what? Kalah hari. Lele khano la mina ida lona ke le tabo le go bane batho they resent. Ndaba yokuthi mina kwamela. Nyokhuluma nana. Kila retsa, kila communicator, kila bua. Quack. This year, kida. I did again. And I'm like, why, Phil? The happy, Luna, the healing. The happy. Yes. How can you show me life in? But the fun side, I'm like, Kalahar. The Kalahar. Just cause Rona would do it from life in. Mama got queen. Maharangas a baby, yeah. That's I don't want that. We don't have a life in. No. Kurina, guys. Opening and I get out of space. Batum. Space in my life in. We had a hang up in these streets. Somebody had told me, I'm going to have to go be nothing every on one now. Get exhausted, come on, I think. So, Jim, Jahagala Pila Hagana. Don't ear up my heart, exactly. Somebody had a country with her my heart. Something needs to be done, Lana. We're ear up my heart. Buang. Kevin Canagato, Gallerata, who said I guarantee so. Continue. Buang. Marbonang. With again, little thing. Listening on about Alex Doxiel alien. No, having a power card. Another Kingaron. Interesting. The point like business in Tamarapo. Because in Kilometer Tamarapo, then. Honana Moiling. Honan to Amarapo, Motohana anything. Ronada Tyra. People Bill Gates about house trouble. Horonas when is owning nothing and be happy. When I want to build a better anger. But it's already the resources, the assets, and what have you. And they're like, you will own nothing and be happy. And I'm like, okay. Kimo great reset if you kill him South African signs. Elendi logo airport dark or Tambo is like, hello, Gifilana. Gifila, I'm arrived, I'm here. Great reset. You know how Africa? I'm not riding for Zago America. Zago Europe. 10,000 years after everybody else gets them, I get Africa. But consider I'm jailer. I get days of our lives. Literally behind them 4 years, you're I get 4 years, guys. Go 4 years. Bruku sent me Ali as bring chicken Maragua American to Salto Fanes. That's how quickly or how behind we were. Tina Lime Pilwin. When it comes to entertainment from the West, I get. So we get everything lost, eh? Ribom Nambam jailer type set up. Thing. I get it. Tabaton. Little Wanson. Little one in cinema about Alice Toxil again, Hahono Gualamonto. Or where fell a cell phone. Think I know. Give me a reason again. I'm trying to saw. Carica's too. She. Give it a break against this stop by anchor. I cry everything lata, Gerona. Harley Africa, Jana Heber Blumile, and the African sun. So you would imagine that destructive heresies, destructive policies, destructive ideas, like Bill Gates' calcium carbonate in the sky, choco, by in the sky to reduce global warming. Okay. Hey, Bill Gates, we talk about where choco atmosphere. Destructive heresies of such a nature of that nature of that nature. And talk that destructive in Jaffa, they are so how if you Rona, you would imagine that since the great days of our lives 4 years later, Bruku to Fetu America, South Africa, is bring chicken. That they would also take their merry time and bringing their destructive ideas down south again. Eh. No, you imagine. Come on. I have a little strap on Mr. World Economic Forum. What I could build a bag better. Or booty. Calada, America, get robot. Calada, go Europe, I get a boot. Eh, Blama of Mojara, thing a how grand shop. Rona right, the London the big zero level the giraffe. More Africa girl. Roto Helena had about a whole aqua bag better. The tried is anyway. Horrific to my last year. Africa, we are allowed to just live, merely exist, and dwindle away while we get everything 10,000 years after everyone else. Maranga, but learn about a build back better after 4 years before by implement a America. Learn about a build back better after 4 years after by implement a go Europe. Learn about a Hubana Bamchela, how that we implement a coast really. Kubanska kama Africa pale. Emparona get Resident Evil Raccoon City experimental hub. How about experiment kan tshwana tse body like weather manipulation. Eba nna motho ke mo bizuko ka halari. Na re wa ka tswela desert ya rona. Ola ta Las Vegas. O ira go Kalahari, tlogela Kalahari, rona ra tlogela Sahara ya rona. tlohela di-desert tsa rona mona mo Africa o lata tsa gago ke ga o ka lata Nevada ko Las Vegas tsa mo ke la ka desert eo tsa mo experimenta ko teng pele tsa mo causa famine da pele o but empa o busy ko Ethiopia re etseng rona ka batho bana they bring things to us namba mtshela unless it is an experimental site like Raccoon City in Resident Evil. So what are we supposed to do? Listen, hey batho mshilisi ke mo ya baba nando se mo life ngulwetsang. I need to blow my nose. It's all up in my business. Where's the tissue? Hold on, disaster zone again. Okay, the videos. Because the stuff is hot, okay? Whatever. Loving it. Nice way to wake yourself up, saying when there's no power away from affliction. So amen. Alright, look at it in my life, guys. No, just putting it out there. Okay. You would imagine if these randoms out in these streets trying to control the planet with their one world religion, trying to control the planet with their one world governmental system, trying to control us all with their one world global currency, trying to control all of us with just their unified thing that they're doing, taking away borders when the Lord done established them so people can have law and order. Here lies these randos trying to take stuff away from us and then telling us you will own nothing and be happy. On top of that, Karabo, you feel like you're eating too much Nando's chicken, girl. You are eating too much meat. So how about we just replace your lifestyle with a vegan one? And even though it's not a very healthy vegan lifestyle, it is a GMO vegan lifestyle because now my name is Bill Gates. Okay, whatever. Kilo purchase, kilo guapa, kilo rega my life thing. More life girl. All of the farmland in the United States, so nobody can go and right ahead and plant their own tomatoes and eat them. The few little things that I do provide in the supply chain, acting as if though climate change is responsible for crying out loud. Come at me. Facebook more than communicate all of these things that have already communicated and then when I Facebook. Kuruna. Ko ibitsa kuruna na budage ga go ibitsa ka the way ko ibitsa ka Setswana se le sa haisale and then o tla lo kry wena go America mo dutsing teng interpreter ya go interpreter motho kwa motho o to communicateang Setswana se pedi Sesotho a lo communicate ka ba itse the D-Day pandemic o ska tsong Kenya o buti wena ka monopoly of information wa Kenya wa bona so nna go bua ka Setswana gore by the time o bring down no situation ya mina batho ba bantsi ba tla ba botsa rona ke tseng ankara ba bangata o tla o kry-ile o lo flyer over ngare ke sala Bartman motho a go interpreta ka rabo mo isa all the way to Europe and then eventually ba mo censor the mo ngata shwa bo ha o no mo jwetsa gore batho motho ke mo o busy o disseminate information ya rona and o busy o communicate to batho gore ntho re buang ha e right and then re sa itse gore ke ntho e buang ena go bana tsa di busy ka Setswana mo lifeng jwanong re kry-ile sala Bartman ko Africa a tlo interpreta cherena jwanong ra bona gore o busy o go against agenda ya rona ya go build back a better agenda ya rona ya go godisa batho be re ba jwetsa gore weitseng re go protecta Galian dialectic ya rona re busy re cause disaster mo planeteng ha re tsena mo be re fitla mona re ka situation re le di superhero to come and rescue the day re kirile bo Spider-Man bo Rabobe re fitlhile rona today be tlo tsa batho re weitseng re rescue from pandemic e rona re planileng empa ka re bo o se bua ka Setswana yo bloma ko Facebook 1 month yo yotlhe motho a sa tlhaloganya gore great motho go itseng. That's the thing about the algorithm tsa lona batho ba go Facebook ga di tsaye all of the national the international languages go lo censor di moderation tsa lona for the better part of the time di censor bo my French because it's the global language go censor bo my English go censor maybe even Spanish se ke la bona mara go fitla mona ka language ya go Africa batho ba mantshela go interpret batho go lo consider ba mantshela batho le tla nela find out after 10 years blog ile up gore motho go itseng only then we bring it down but by then my message will already been spread again sa ka beke ga ona taba ka South Africa ga ona taba ka 11 official languages anga bua ka Sevenda o tsaya 10 years go figure out because halena di moderators of all different languages akere o le tumpa ka di languages tsa mo South Africa gore ke lantsenyo go mo life se ke la bona na ke khathetse ke censorship so go toloka ka di language first angela maybe e yona ba ka tlhaloganya go bona e tswa kwa Netherlands ba itisa mo South Africa ba ira Africans mara first angela yona akere ga ba censor ba censor ntho tsa go ba thetsa go nna taboo so ke mo Mr. Bill Gates o reka farmland yo yotlhe go America ha kana mo a ba re batho ke mo motho re fa se tlala batho Putin ana o ka re tshwere tlala ga ka nga buti o tsaile Ukraine ke mo no matlhele go account for 1/3 of the world's wheat supply rojang ke he batho Putin rojang o buti ka o ka tlhalosa je ka ha o le busy go tsena ka fa gare Ukraine gore rona na re roja e ne o buti tlhalosa e be re le bala Bill Gates yana wa teng re re mano mara o itse ke o buti ke filang ka re wa tshwantsa America e lo sotlega ke wheat supply issue hona le farmland e kana batho ba kana ba thela le lenze ba lo fepa America dollar e be right mo life as the world's reserve currency ke nka wena Bill Gates ka calcium carbonate ke filang ka re calcium carbonate ena ha ya block global warming ya the earth e blockile boko o buti ke ka tlogela batho gore ba lo planta kwa America dene kana tsaya dijo tsa teng e lo fa batho ka Africa ba tshwereng ke tlala ke because ba rata go complain gore bona le world famine he batho Bill Gates ke filang ka re kwena o buti o create climate change ndi be ile iron dome le cause di desert ko Africa ko Madagascar Di-pleke tse convenient go ba le di-drought di teng di-drought mara go lona go monate go ana pula to a point where it is flooding ana go ya hana ba mahwat mona. On top of that you got so much farmland that you can feed the whole damn planet mara empa le problem teng le go na le global famine ka jwang Bill Gates ana le farmland e kana a portion of that farmland of which he uses to plant yena vele to be a farmer and the rest in the fly iblomile bana ke ba bana le tšhelete ntsi bathong di-billionaire ne Davos bana le tšhelete ntsi ba reka farmland gore rona ro tshwara ke tlala ba create problem gore ba tlo ba rapo be ba tlo fitlha ba tlo restiwa day. It's called the dialectic a Galilean dialectic because a problem e ba fitlha ba rona bona mo life re fitlhile ka situation ya go dila le solution rona ro le raba za teta mo re le fa cure he batho. It's like organizing a kidnapping mo life ne gore o tlo orchestrate release or rescue ya motho mo kidnapping. That is basically the foundation of dialectic, Galilean dialectic. They cause a problem and then the people lament and complain, they look to the government gives them the solution. Mara o budi kwana ikotsi tseng ya situation ke feeling ka re ka go impeacha o budi you did it danke o re khona ditse mang thanta o budi nna wa kantse ke go tshepa jang jaaka ga go tletse mo hara situation ya go ba dinji ga go monate mona budi mara that's because go wena wa go ba phadi phupa so jana o tlo fitlha mona o ikira motho wa go rescue ba day ra bo be o busy Spider-Man or Superman ke ngina la ga go budi wa bere penti mo go dima morugo mona ka mo batla go rescue nke o budi ga o itse lo apara diaparo sentle o batla go rescue e le ngwana o dropileng bomb mo environment mo batla go ntsha out of a burning building ya nna ke right mo I think ke tatintsha mo building ena hobane ke bebitsa mina le ditelle la mina ke Rapunzel ke tlo ba grand o buti gape ke la di-parachute na le morana Jesu o nthusa wena o ikile Messiah mara Messiah e dwang e causing problem ke o buti so ba batla batho bana ga ba ke tamo ga ba di tsene taba tsa gao se ke ba bona because wena ga o tolo ka ntse o retsa nthonyana tse di kima tse di kana ba go sense re tlhe ba go tsa re motho na ga appropriate information e ke disinformation so jana ga ba ne ke disinformation ke o ka ntse re ke disinformation ga ka se tswana o buti tlhaloganya pele re ke reng a ke ka tlhaloganya pele tle dialectic tlhaloganya o buti Let's let them on my own. Bomberona how to menace. Libizon Reza 4 years late. Cari soap opera. Marareza experimental ground when it comes to your build back better. Lotalaga Africa. Ebanton. Lotomaga Africa. Yeah, not nearly happy, another complainer. 101 days of our life 4 years after the fact. I get so no matter what I want to build back better after Europe and America has adopted the scheme. Samaya. Let me not family and I get some of that America to Europa. So Mona mo Africa re tlo gela gale re survive tlhe re ignore le mo life re le manjela ke halela ka re re manjela nna ga ke batla go ona nothing and be happy ke mo ga ke na ne ke se mo life mara ke botlhoko jwang 24 hours a day ke rata ke yonke ntokoloi ntlu batho nko ntjakatse tso ke ntho di tsologile mo bophelong ba mina ga ka thaba mara ke mo tlo straps no ntse rona ke tlo thaba we ke le straps granadela hanga mona hanga monwa go ba mona ntle mo life mara ga ke dumela le straps tanker ke right ka Mr. Straps ke right mo life because straps means ke ngonza ntse nna mmera kwa le boka mo so ba mina bobonke o experiment le mo nna pele nna ke motho go ba Raccoon City ko Resident Evil le tsale virus ra nkira zombie la ira batho around me zombie bele go ya bereka diteng ga le batho go tisa ntho ya go inoculate ga le batho go thusa batho gore ba survive le batho fela go ba etsa under your nail and your finger skin and your tips ela magwaitse ke Frank Sinatra ga le batho morana Jesu who's the way the truth and the life so you make like Frank Sinatra and do it your own way go lokilanga ke re mo life and club shopstar mara nna ke right shopstar ke re wona ka Gillian dialect ya ga go shopstar ke ga e just so ga se rata ka go ke le mo life mara ga di tsena taba tsa go no ke re shopstar nna ba tsone shopstar ke gata ke prema stofo le gas nna ke batla go berekisa electricity motlakase mara that's just the problem ka motlakase hambe when it's convenient la o berekisa lo tsa motlakase lo kenya ka fa hara Tesla car agara next motho o busy wa beya ma life ho monate o go highwaying ebe kolo ya gago e stopa ke Elon Musk and I'm like bathong Elon ke mo ba batla go foster Elon Musk gore a lo tima di Tesla cars tsa go Russia mara ba batho ba busy ba driver ba mmereko nne seng kolo e stopile tsi jona ba batla go ira di electric cars for everybody because apparently fossil fuels are destructive more the planet. So go on right ahead and give everybody an electric car. So if they say something taboo on social media, you're just gonna stop them in the highway. They be driving their car and they think they're all stranded in the middle of nowhere. Some kind of agency, because they are inappropriate. Why is about one about megalomania? But megalomaniacal. Say, planet. But it's jail. So, but the jail. So, how to get the false Christ, the false Messiah, the all over. This cat all over. As a killer, one of my thing. So, you must have Schwab Gate. Ba dumelana go da go Davos mo go tletseng di-billionaire gore ro controla planet yo tlhe mara ro tsala ka Africa batho mo buti go bana o tsala ka Africa go se tloetse belebele go retsa manjela entle no le batho ba tsala ke tsala mara you've got farmland that you have bought and on top of that mo go di madi deng na o buti le the food e o ya teng genetically modified so motho ga sa go bona ntle fela go ikitshela apole ntle fela sonora ga go no itjela pere e le pere ntle fela sonora ga go no go itjela mango ene mango ntle fela sonora ke mango wa go ba GMO he batho o lo spend more money and dijo tse leng genetically modified where before ne di take di fruit and for the better part of the time dijo tso tsotlhe ne di se modified ne di right. It is no wonder re rotlhe di stretch marks tse di kana mo dimpeng ga le pregnant. No wonder go na di stretch marks mo di ezing. No wonder re tsofala ga botlhoko ga kana re tsofala ka speed of light gobane ba re fepa di GMO ba busy ba altera G hele M le O di genes tsa rona jwanong. Who's next to be modified? Ke rona again yona ba lo tsang mark of the beast Clemo Life 666. You are going to be made a completely different thing other than what God created human beings to be. So of course you're not going to inherit the kingdom of heaven, because heaven has been created for human beings that repent and give their lives to Christ. Mara rona ha ntse ba go ile GMO ka ra apple ya Bill Gates o tlo ira jwang guys se o le GMO human, genetically modified human. It's called transhumanism. Le di GMO tsa Bill Gates ba lo le injecta ka dinthonyana sa nteng ba lo gene edit ka mo how to be a human being as we understand human being then. Mara ba lo thoma gae ba lo thoma mo Africa ba thong ke ha re ka re tlogela ka di-experiment rona Resident Evil line 0 re ground zero rona re ground zero fikela bana Walking Dead zombie apocalypse e kala somewhere ka Africa tla ka re go tlogela re no se ho mona le mona without you ne re sa complain over days of our lives till 5 years later. Mara wena o busy insisting gore roba number 1 he batho ke nna ntwana mo ga ke ga ga ke bona ke bona batho ga ke ga guys ana wena wa tlhaloganya ha ba mo tlhaloganya tenants and stuff ke curious on something before ke rana out of battery power, before ke rana out of space go bona ga rona motlakase rona re Resident Evil ground zero re Raccoon City se ke la bona yena mena isa ke meshunu o re ke dako o derele ko Walking Dead ke bitsa nna ke duke dwela among di zombie ke tso ga di ba ga di tsene taba tsa nna ke be right di batla go njana ma nna nya motho wetse keng o motho ka o kana ja apole o tlogela ka ra ba kere mara ke ke mo a re go ba le ska jang na mabathong mara wena Bill Gates wa eja ana wena o lo bolaya go mo bo eja o buti wena o ja mo kokona ha ba ni wena o ja turkey o buti rona go mane wa tshwantse ska eja o ntsaela bo ka mo se ba mina isa go botho o bompha ba gago made in your own image nna batho ke motho mo rena Jesu mo life ga ke di tsene tsa tse sena se ga ke di tsene ke tsena mo bona bo botle batho bana mara bona ga batho mo mina isa I think I'm going to get the building and I give it nonsense and beto nice. Utwa, how do we have dologeng? Africa regret into Mandela except when they're experimenting with a world policy that is destructive. You want to build back better, But how do you build back better in a world full of independent people with their own opinions? Look at what the lang hakan life. O ya hano mothago we tse nga bua wa tona ka cheriki mo ga ba tlo go stompa ke pompo ntse fele bulegileng ya molomo wa bua motho mo thudiseng lo tlisa ka ra bojwang lo mo tsaya tšhelete a kere he batho ntala ka loi le ntsala motor cam nna batho ke tso driver mara license this ka ya mina isa expired ke tso driver mara driver's license ya ka expired so nna hanga kra ke metro police ke motho go ba illegal mo strateng so my driving skill go felile ka mina isa ga ke na ke re koloi e dutse fela e pagile e tlhoka fetse koloi ya batho ga e start ga e move ke tso se ke la bona next go fedile ka batho koloi ya mina ga ke go ntsha for service ko sa ga ke na madi ga ke na tšhelete nna mo line so ke tsang go di tsa ka rago o si ba itse mara se ke la bona go botlhoko go bona ka itse you need life o tinga dijo ke o tinga everything we tinga mo life mara ka se kry until you agree with me ke ta go fa ngntlu ka rama ke go koloi le neng mo mara ya Tesla ya electricity nna go stop ka bua nonsense mo social media go fa motlakase o just enough for the day ha ke ta mo bekere ka rabo Chinese social security system. I haven't you thought that was messed up. Well, guess what? It's in a town near you now. This is how you are going to move Tesla kaya ga go ka rama kula ga go ya Tesla ya Elon Musk. This is how you're going to move it, sister. Ntwa ga go e senang motlakase. This is how you're going to turn on the electricity system. Life ya gago is nang purpose. This is how you're going to get to do stuff. This is how karabo I get. Don't say anything stupid, just agree gore mo life ke right ke modimo wa gago go go controller and happen climate change defect. Ha ba no ka accept ntonyana tse jwana. Motlakase wa gago o rana jang? Everything over right, mara le nna go provide la dijo go rekela digroza, so you must understand gore mo digroza tsa gago ga go ba le nama. Ga o tloka chicken again, turkey, lobster schmobster. Lobster ke schwabster fela hobane mami maina bona a raimisha se ke la bona. Ke a tradition. To metaphor, whatever you want to call it. Sounds the same. It's like potato and potato. Schwabster is the only one that gets to eat a lobster. So when I get lobster, ana king kata king kawin. So mona menga rabo mo nandosi. Ga o ba itse ba go ba nan ba go nandosi. Ga ba go eat. O tla di fruit ona vegan mara le teng vegan ya GMO. Ona vegan ya genetically modified hore ro go fa dijo that is going to make sure hore how le pregnant o kry a stomach in a stress max 29 looking like a harmonica after giving birth because you just got to bang tsona dia le brava sa mara. Ke tsona fela o tla etsang. O jang girl. What are healthy? O jang na chele demons. Ana chele dage. What are non GMO? Well, point. How na yona o si. O busy we by Twitter with the educating about what is good food and what not. How na mo tshwana le taba mo life. Ke go tsaya everything gore ke ba gona go control narrative ya gago. Go go tempa mo life ka mark of the beast. Go go dumpa ka yona. Gore o ska confuse. O ska confuse ga viewe. O ne se ke nkarabo. Ha o ka thola fela o swa batho. O tlo ba right o grammar go ska nna ntse complain di government tsa lona ngwe electricity power card. Go go lokisa tsa life. So ro tla ko Africa. Rosa di loud mouth tsa kwa Africa. Bo karabo. Re bele re ba thudis. Re ba tsaya dikoloi, re ba tsaya di license le driver's license le mmele nja le gatse. Re ba tsaya le rato, re ba tsaya di cell phone space le battery power. Re ba tsaya le tsotlhe ntho tseo. E be re karabo ba tla bophelo ba gago back girl. Well, ke yen thotla grayang mara in exchange ka o ka thola e batho mana buti. Ke gospel 70 means rona ke motho go ba thebu ke go against grain of the world. Ana ke go thola jwang? Ga kwa nako go bitsa ha hona go tla mahodi mo go tla diheleng. Ntlo ga batho Bill Gates. Ka cause am carbon dia ha go sa eating sense. Ntlo ga go but. Ntlo ga. Ntlo ga ke no se tlem. Ke tla go dira mona na ke bo mona ke chicken na mina because ke batla chicken. Ha ke nyaka chicken na ke nyaka mos. O ka komfort rona ke tsana nama ke be happy. A ke happy a ke sena chicken mo life ke tlhoka mo life. Ke dinga ke. Ke batla nama ke batla go gari. Mara ba rona ke phela go phela bosna go mo yona. Wa tla go phela phela bosna calamari e batho mo budina ke batla calamari a ke ba di prawns. Ke batla go ba bougie. Le nna ke nyaka go ba bougie. Maybe let's at least na ke batla caviar. Ke di batla di animal product. Why don't want to rona ke tsoma tsona? O ro tshwarisa mekopo ya rona ga o fela bird flu gore di price ya mai di increase. Is that what you're going to do? Okay. Bill Gates, experiment as much as you want, but I'm not going to get 70 more than just on my life thing. Ga ke di tsana taba tsa gago o butyanka. O ntumpila ka poverty mara nna go tumpa ka scripture. Mara just o tshela re tshwana le di ira gana mo life thing so. Ntlogela a butlu. Nna go la bitse. Ha go ba tse story sa hao. Na maemo ngana tena ke motho go ja nandos. Mara ba rona ke tlogela le chicken. Hema tshong. Charles Schwab's, Schwabster, lobster. A go ngetse o punt. Jaaka ga o batla go ntse rona I will own nothing and be happy. Ke ha ra la wena. A re thomeng ka wena ke re le batla go experiment ka deep concept. You are good, the North. You are good, the East, the West. So, excellent. Basically, the star student when it comes to ignoring Africa. And you are also excellent star students when it comes to experimenting and pioneering ideas on yourselves first. Do you know why situation in Africa where you are going on right ahead? Africa until we get exhausted too much to complain. 24-hour power. Give your life and your soul to me, because it's what I do. Hey, banna. Mona mo busy week in Nigeria. What feels I'm Zanzi? I can show me, I'll show you one or two things so, and you will know what it is like to live a life. I mean, no matter Cloud Schwabster, what's got to identity in Nigeria or Buti? Hey, but use a Papa Kua, number one status in Africa's economy. Yeah, South Africa. It's not that life. Okay, it's all about Africa, time on Tonto. By experiment, I can change more Africa. By experiment, I can build like better. You will own nothing and be happy, great reset. By Batalagarona, guys. Now, last time I checked the number, I'm Jane the experimenting and Africa because what happened to Havana, Africa Havana Tagabona. Makua go tlamara go Europe because who had no come Africa. Why is there no much man to so gona? But on to the Latin and I guess I rata. Mara. Tabayorim, the capitulator. Get out on Azeo. Get out on Agar. No man Jesus child. So because you're not Jesus child. How fun sign up on the flag should be like killer at home and give donate the Malcolm. Nobody is going to take away everything from me and then tell me I will be happy with nothing. I'm sitting here with nothing to my name. I've lost everything, a career, a life, a car, a way, like a means to drive one legally. I have lost my entire personality as a thriving concern in this nation. And apparently I'm supposed to be happy. Come to Africa and see the poverty and see people who own nothing and are miserable. So I don't know how your theory of you will own nothing and be happy can ever apply, and yet Africa is ground zero for experimentation for the Great Reset, experimentation for building back better, experimentation of the World Economics Forum's ideas as to how it is that we can make this world, this place, a better environment. And so what then it is doing is pay African presidents, African leaders, African nationalists to plunge Africa into darkness with absolutely no infrastructural development happening at the pace it ought to happen, so that they could see what total governmental control can do or can mean for a people group. We are literally like an experimental hub or site, like Raccoon City in Resident Evil, that movie. The first place where a zombie apocalypse starts, where an outbreak of a T-virus starts, and it spreads to the rest of the world, but not before they first tested in one particular site. Africa is like Raccoon City, and I've been saying that over and over again. Our presidents are leaders, especially those that belong to G8s and G11s and G27s like what South Africa is, have literally signed their souls over to the devil to sell Africa to experimentation by big fat elitist globalists of this world to see how things will fare in Africa, because no one really cares what goes on up here, down here. And if this place is successful in these experiments, successfully tested on, then they're going to explore it in other parts of the world, like the West. Now, these power cuts, it's a psychological manipulation. I didn't want to talk about this, but I'm finally getting around to it. Crush the will and the spirit of the people by plunging them into darkness they can't do anything about. Frustrate them with melancholy and macabre, and then rock up and offer them a solution. Galilean dialect. So African leaders are literally being made to crash their own economies in exchange for some kind of position in the future in other lands, so that this one world government system can already be sparked or charged already really fast. They are crashing their own country. Like, it does not make sense why Cyril Ramaphosa, I call him Pause Her, because the pause in the middle speaks of pausing an entire countryman, including Karabo. Cyril Ramaphosa them, okay? It does not make sense why a leader of this land, and all the other leaders in the run-up to Cyril, will literally allow their economy to crash like this on their watch, with them doing absolutely nothing to intervene. These power cuts are destroying the country's economy. A president that is responsible would appear to be fixing it. I don't know why he's got such high approval ratings when the economy has only ever slumped ever since he came into presidency. The same thing is true of Zuma. Everybody else that was preceding him never did a good job for South Africa. It's been on a decline exponentially ever since Nelson Mandela came into power. They sold us over, these African leaders, to worldwide experimentation as ground zero. That's what's going on. So that as a continental economy, as Africa, we would crash, and then there would be a rescuing party, a being that would rock up, emerge out of nowhere, and offer us a way out. The Antichrist operates that way. World leaders are going to crash and burn because they are going to fail to fulfill the needs of the people on the ground. And they are going to lament until one dude rocks up and is like, I see they're not giving you power. I see they're not giving you this, they're not giving you that. I see they're not basically meeting needs of the people. And people are going to be like, yeah, I've been struggling for a minute. This guy sucks. And this guy is so going to meet the needs of everybody that they're going to eventually embrace him, not only as world global leader where there are no borders anymore, but as God. Africa is experimental hub number one. We are being famished. We are having experiments with weather manipulation being conducted on our continent. We are having our individual countries' economies being ransacked by our presidents who have signed deals with the devil that protect only them and their families when everything comes plunging. So therefore, in a country that is being run into the ground like that, honest people that speak the truth like me, control of information, get silenced. People that are also honest employees that are whistleblowers, stuff like that, get silenced. Only the corrupt who are happy to receive bribes, racketeer, blackball, whatever it is, like unsavory business practices in order for them to get ahead. They're the only ones that are able to thrive in the run-up to. They are usually, literally, tools for the manipulation of world economies. They are used like citizens, like laymen and women on the ground are being used in order to foster a generalistic, overarching strategy on a country. So when a man or a woman defeatistly, like what happened when I was at MTN with this one colleague, employs the lesser candidate at interview stage than somebody else that interviewed much better. You would imagine it's defeatist for a boss to do that. For him to hire the girl or the guy that is not the best for the job. And yet it's happening across the country where they are disregarding much better candidates for worse off ones. That's what, like, corporate witchcraft achieves. When witchcraft is performed at a governmental level, where it is a spiritual curse on an entire country by elitists that literally bewitch an entire nation into squalor and obscurity. So recruitment agencies of this country, I keep on calling them, they're more like escort agencies, more than they are recruitment agencies, because they only bring people into corporate that are happy to stay with some particular narrative or agenda, and their social profiles look a particular way. When a person is a little bit of a revolutionary, looks like they could spark up some tension in an environment and in a room, they disregard them altogether. So gone are the days of paradigm shifters and thought leaders. Gone are the days of critical thinkers. They don't want people like those. They want absolute mediocrity, because how it is that you get to, like, docile servants run an entire country, like little drones, mindless ones just roaming around, is to get everybody on a mean in line of the normal distribution. You need to garner as many people in the center of the normal distribution as possible that are happy with whatever status quo is in the room. They don't change things. They don't move them to the left or the right. They don't have extreme ways of thinking. They just kind of blend in with the crowd. Those are the people that are being, like, kept filling up empty chairs in corporates and anywhere else at all where it is that they can be put. People that don't stand too much or push back too much against any said or set narrative. And what these people do is make for nice little whistleblowers in and of themselves, of those that are like Karabo. They call people out like Karabo. They are like, I don't know if you guys have seen the show, the movie Body Snatchers. They scream, ah, when a Karabo is all up in these streets doing a different thing. So people like me are increasingly being ostracized, made to live at the dregs of society, being isolated, being parched, famished, starved by their countries, because mindless drones have been made to continue about their business on the daily as ones who are going with a narrative that is very entirely destructive of the human equation altogether. Mara, unbeknownst to themselves, they're just doing it dilly-dallying. It's literally The Walking Dead. Zombies. And those of us who are still alive, I like to compare myself to, like, Rick or Michonne or whatever in The Walking Dead. Live among the dead. It's their world. We just live in it. And we have to be in constant flight from them. So South Africa's crashing on everybody's watch, because Africa is under a spell, or under myriads of spells, from the leadership of this land that has been sold over to big, fat, chunky powerhouses, elitist globalists of this world, to crash their own economies, because there has to be a person that rocks up and rescues the day. How are they going to usher in a one world government when people are so individualistically thinking? They have to cripple world economies, and Africa is number one on the list of first places to experiment. So that's why people like me are unemployed, albeit being as intelligent as we are. And that's why some of you have jobs, albeit being as dumb as you are. I'm sorry if I'm, like, offending some people, but at this point of the 8 years of suffering, I don't have time to be tickling anybody's ears. There is a pandemic in the sky. There is a very serious situation in the world. And unless people come together in one accord and actually pray about it, it's going to happen really fast. The Tower of Babel was seized from being built all the way to the top. You know why?
because God intervened and confused people's languages. The only way that anybody in this world is going to delay the advent of the Antichrist and therefore the return of the Lord Jesus Christ, and so therefore the judgment of the world, is if the world repents. But if it doesn't, if Africa does not repent as a conglomerate, Africa, if Africans do not repent as a conglomerate and give their lives to the Lord, if they don't fast, if they don't ask the Lord to rescue us from being an experimental site for whatever it is that the global elites are trying to do, it's over. And in my head, I'm safe. That's what you need to understand. I'm a child of God, so really, at most, what will happen to me is I'll get raptured. And then we'll stand at a terrace in heaven looking down upon a world that is being taken over by the Antichrist. And many of you will take the mark of the beast because you are like mindless drones in the center of the normal distribution where all you think is ordinary stuff, 24 hours a day. Nothing that is far left or far right to the normal distribution. You are just regular. You're normal, you're mediocre, and so you're non-threatening. And you will take the mark of the beast in that state. You think you're favored, you think you're successful when you get given everything you want on a silver platter, albeit being the most nefarious girl in the room, albeit being the most diabolical dude in the room, albeit being a person that frankly is not the best for the job, nonetheless you get the promotion. No, it just means you're a nice little mindless drone to push the general agenda. Your president is tanking your country. He is tanking your nation deliberately, while him and only his family are protected from the sinking ship. That is what is happening. So, the death of a nation, when it does eventually happen, only recall that I warned you. I told you so. They are telling you to eat less meat. They are telling you that there's no food in the world when they keep on buying farmland and then not tilling on it, not farming on it. And then when people go hungry, they're like, look, this is because of what Putin is doing. It's because of what is going on in Ukraine. It is because the breadbasket of the world is at war. No. Yes, it is at war. That will indeed mess up with global supply systems. But there is so much farmland on the planet, enough of it, therefore, to feed everybody in spite of Putin, and yet it's not happening. It's because these people want these calamities. Even the war in Ukraine, I wouldn't be surprised if it was fashioned. I wouldn't be surprised if they are all in on it in order to disrupt things. It's called the Galilean dialectic, just in case I didn't explain it properly, where it is that a body of people cause a problem and then they walk up and rescue the people. Like kidnappers who orchestrate the kidnapping for the very purpose of rescuing the victim. It's the Galilean dialectic. And if you do not repent as a people, they will prosper to take us all. If anything, it's Bible prophecy that ultimately they will win. But does it have to happen now? Does it have to happen in this era, in this age? Does it have to happen in the next 100 years? No, it doesn't. How it is that you prevent globalistic control of us all is by praying and giving your lives to the Lord Jesus Christ, that his borders might be maintained, that orderly government within nations might be maintained, that people's minds might be kept sharp, so that people can be held accountable, so that governments can be held accountable to the people on the ground. If you don't do that, it's over. Nahe, I will go home. Heaven, Abatum, couldn't wait for me. Heaven couldn't wait for me. I will go home with my brothers and sisters in the rapture, and then we will sit in a terrace in heaven watching the Squid Game unfold on earth. Literally, you are all going to be killed one by one, and only one or two of you that are left standing might be given a shot to live out the rest of your feeble lives in the millennial reign. All the best in disregarding what I had to say. I'm smarter than you, and yet I'm sitting here gathering dust with a car that doesn't even move. And you think that that is my misfortune. Your misfortune is in the fact that you think you actually got something on me due to the fact that I've got nothing to myself. The fact that you actually believe you have won and conquered me is why it is that you're in trouble as opposed to me. You don't see that you're being used as a pawn. How in the world does a president just sit idly by while a nation's economy tanks? How in the world do myriads of presidents, multiple ones at that, even his predecessors, how have they watched South Africa go from bad to worse with nothing being fixed or corrected? We are in a power cut going on 48 hours now, 2 days in suburbia. And you in South Africa imagine that just because you have a 9 to 5 that is able to cause you to perhaps change up your electrical infrastructure in your home and get solar panels, and so you're the only person in your neighborhood with electricity. You think that because you've got those benefits that you're better than Karabo, except your lack of collectivistic thought in that what does this mean for the general collective is precisely why it is that you're going to tank as a collective. You are too individualistically thinking and too selfish to thoroughly see with your eyes what is actually going on here. How in the world an entire nation has just accepted so much destruction in a matter of years is beyond me, but hey, it's what you're into. I'm signing out. I gotta go wash my teeth, brush my teeth, finish my coffee first, and see if at all I can't go and charge my phone in one of these vehicles. Bye! Sorry, I got cut short because, again, I did let you guys know that battery's dying, so I'm gonna get to the point like really fast. Okay, I grew up watching grown-ups, adults, go to work every single day, and I thought, Mina, as a kid, kula nami and do just what they did, just what they do. Nami, I'm going to, basically the roles are going to be reversed between Abatabadala now, where it is like now I'm going to be taking care of children and I'm going to be waking up every day and going somewhere. And people made sure that they took that away from me. They kept me perpetually in the state of a child watching other people go to work, and I am, for the life of me, shocked. I'm beside myself with horror because I don't understand why this is continuing. But around me like this is normal, and then because right now we are on speaking terms, and whatnot, akuna concern, man, how something in them that makes them feel like I don't know what's going on. And on top of it, they have time to tease things that are going on with me. Today at the Mug and Bean, she asked me, it's winter first of all, so this is the perfect hairstyle, and no, my neck does get cold, so it's ideal. Plus, my color and nobody asked them, are you not hot? That is the level of patronizing condescension that I get from my mom. Like every so often, I'd be hooking up a hairstyle, a new one, and then she'll be like, aren't you hot in that hair? Like I employed so much effort in getting this hair did, but all of my efforts, everything that could even make me money, everything that could convert me into an adult from being a child, it just gets mocked and teased. That is how much I am being antagonized by abadala around me that are disquieted by indaba ukuthi umuntu omdala mina self kwamele ngiyosebenza. I don't know what's going on. I am broken, so all I want to do is die. and they thoroughly are expecting me to stay alive and survive this another year, another 2, another 3, another 4 years, and another 5. I don't think I'm going to make it unless the Lord delivers me supernaturally. I either need to get taken by the rapture, or I need to suddenly miraculously blow up on social media so I can start making money and get out. At the mall, I was so broken just by watching everybody around. Babantu, mothers, fathers, little kids walking around. They all have normal lives, and I know, I know my own life. So to calculate or gauge or understand the reality of my own life while I watch these people just broke my heart, because I am not them. I am not a normal person doing normal things, bringing kids to the mall. I am a woman that has been buried in a basement, and the person that I'm at the mall with is my hostage taker. All is not what it seems, and yet everybody just walks right by me, and all I'm crying for help, I'm screaming, and everybody's just walking right by me. And I wish I could be like, help me, is there no one here that can see that I am a jailed woman? That is all I could think. I was on TikTok the entire time, go Magen Bean, while I sat there to buy time, gathering dust and thinking about my terrible life, because there's no power. And being on TikTok made my life even more heartbroken. It hurt me even more, because it's more people that are doing such irrelevant things. I'm sorry, like, I'm preaching the gospel, I'm trying to get people rescued for the kingdom of heaven, and they are busy doing videos where they're singing, they're moving up and down, just this irrelevant stuff, and they're getting tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, sometimes even millions of views. And I'm like, this is irrelevant, it's unimportant, and I am trying to get people to hear me, and I only have 1 mega follower on TikTok. So I came back home and I was like, Father, just take my life, because I've got far more relevant content than any of these people combined, and yet they are all getting heard. I know the world hates disciples, but when then we can't preach the gospel, because nobody will even listen to us, what is the point of us continuing here anymore? Can you just take me home? If at all you're not going to rapture the church right now, then please just give me a heart attack, anything. I'm brokenhearted, enough for me to die from a broken heart. Can you not just let me not wake up one morning? I don't want to be here because I'm wasting time. This is the life that a person has been given by those around her that claimed to have loved her at some point. They're at enmity with each other. They keep on fighting. I get a true purpose, and yet the one person with purpose trying to give it to also you. You've hidden, you've buried, and you've made sure that she has to speak like freaking Speedy Gonzalez, because for me, it'll talk about space, no less. I don't know what to do. If this pod does not come back today, and I have no means of transferring my content from my phone to my Mac, I am screwed for the next 24 hours, because I'm literally going to be sitting around twiddling my fingers, suffocating under suicide ideation, and struggling to do it. So just freaking morbid depression, unabated, unfettered. This is my life. South Africans have given it to me, and all they can do is freaking dance to Amapiano music on bloody TikTok. All the freaking best. I hope you die. Hi there. There's still no power. And after having my cup of tea, I'm gonna bath. Boil a medzi. I wonder how to hold this here. Boil a medzi on the stove, pour a whole bunch of it into the bathtub, and bath, because I can't leave anything out. I can't not bath for 2 days straight. I don't have much space left here, but I did go to the mall and charged my phone almost to full capacity there at Magen Bean. So that doesn't really matter. If I don't have space in my phone, then charging it is just as good as doing nothing at all. How did I go to the mall? Guys, you know what? It's beyond me. I seriously don't understand what's going on in my life. I don't understand how my family members can act so cavalier normally around me when everything of mine has been shattered. It's all I think about, like, all day long. I don't have anywhere to look, anything to do. I am a grown woman, I'm 37, and or that is concerned about my unemployment, and I belong to a middle income family. How people can just walk around me with this, it's just bizarre. It's beyond me. Frankly, I don't understand what is along. Okay? Because of the situation with my cat, I am on speaking terms again with Barbara, the woman that is my mom. And so in order to survive thoughts of suicide, like literally things I think about every single day, suicide, I think about everything I lost. I think about everyone that's disregarding that happened. And then I think about suicide again. And the only way that I conquer thinking about such things is if I'm actively involved in some kind of work, is if I'm busy, if I'm writing, if I'm dancing, I'm exercising, basically what I do to conquer the demons that are pursuing my life. But there's no power, and there hasn't been power for almost 48 hours now. Apparently they've eventually troubleshooted what the issue is, or at least they've identified what the problem or the cause is. And so they are allegedly working on it. So my prayer is that the power will be back today, later on. Mara, we don't know, but it likely will be back by tomorrow. And that is going to mean going through yet another night, sleepless, really tired in spirit. And this time around, I'm not going to find a way to conquer that darkness because I don't have space in my phone. Right now, even as I speak, I might get cut because I can have space. So, this woman, that would be my mom. We haven't been on speaking terms at all. Because of the tensions due to the way that my life has kind of panned out. I don't have relations with any family member of mine. This is just the way Imbilak Yam is. And with the situation with my animal, like I said, my cat, she's had to open rapport, and so we're sort of kind of on speaking terms. I therefore decided to climb on the bandwagon to save myself, to rescue myself from suicide ideation. All I do when it comes to suicide is think about it, guys, but do it I never can. I'm so scared of God. I fear the Lord so much that I'd never go out like that. So basically, I just get tormented by the desire to die, but I can never really do it. I'm living in limbo. In the Lord's word in Revelation, there is a season in the trials of the human race during that time where the unregenerate, the reprobate, the unbelievers are going to be tormented by creatures from the bottomless pit that have got the sting of scorpions and the shape of locusts, and they're giant like human beings. And they're going to torment people for 5 months with no reprieve. And they will see, it is written in God's word, that they will seek to find death and not be able. So basically, they will try to commit suicide and not prosper. So they will ever be ideating suicide, maybe even attempting it, but never ever actually prosper to die. I have a similar torment in my life, but I am a child of God, and so this is a travesty, where it is that I desperately want to go home. I want to go to heaven. I want to die. I do. But I can never end my own life. I wish that somebody would come and put a solid one right through my forehead, and I will just go straight to God. Or a car accident, anything. Literally, I am so desirous of death. I'm kind of ghoulish. I'm kind of gothic in the way that I am. I have wanted to die for years. For years, pretty much ever since this whole thing started, 8 years straight, I've been seeking to find death, and I haven't been able to find it. I just come from crying right now, begging God to take my life. I don't know how many times I do that per week, never mind per month. Sometimes it's multiple times a day. I only ever conquer those very strong desires for the end of my life if I've had a really successful day and I'm feeling good about myself, like I've worked out well, and I feel like the message I've covered is really, like, and I gain hope from the word of the Lord, but then it all starts again from scratch. Every morning I wake up wanting to die. I'm ever bombarded by nightmares, and I have to think about everything I lost. Thinking about other people's lives, and those who are cavalier continuing about as if though I'm not a person that's missing in action in their lives, also break my heart. Literally, I'm going through so very many things at the same time that I don't know how any human being is expected to survive this level of loss every single day, and be also expected to survive it, to live, to just stay alive, to keep breathing. There was just too much on me. And I went and I was like to the Lord, Father, if at all the wicked are going to be given 5 months being tormented, to want to die but not be able, why have you given me 8 years? Why am I in this desire to die? I just want to leave the earth. I'm tired of being here. Why are you not granting me what I desire? Given that I belong to you, I've been tormented for way longer than I can take, and it is very taxing for me to watch people live around me like nothing has ever happened. They literally live around me like good right for me to be treated like a toddler, a young child that has to have everything provided for. You're on my tampon for crying out loud, and I don't understand why that's even my life. Guys, I'm 37. I should be somebody's mom. Every time I look at women loving their babies, be it at the mall, be it on TikTok, be it on social media, YouTube, I just well up like yalla, and they come so automatically. They just flow from out of my eyes. I don't even have to and I found myself also wanting to break out into tears at the mall today, but I had to hold myself because I was in the presence of a person that is cavalier about everything that I have lost. I am robbed from in the worst way. I can't have children, I can't do anything, and I can't grow up. I also cannot grow up. I'm a 37-year-old woman. I'm living the life of a toddler. I'm not immature. I'm just trapped in the body of a child, and not in the body of a child, but the spirit of a child. I am grown as a woman, and abantu bakithi bangi-disrespect, bangi-patronize ngala situation, like abenandaba, or at least they walk around me ngathi right for umuntu that's almost 40, guys. A person that is only 2.5 years shy from the age of 40, they walk around me like right for umuntu onjalo angakwazi ukuzithengela ngithi nama-tampon, asakhona ukuyitekela blumasi, ndishoto, bogade, ayikhona ukuyitekela bra. Like, I don't understand how these people are content that should be in my life. Abantu bayakhula la emgaqweni. They grow up and then they go and bayosebenza, they walk into offices and stuff. I grew up nami like a child grows up, kahle, among people, watching adults wake up every morning and go to work. I'm thinking of you in these torments, sorrow drenched in flames. Said it's wrong to love you, 'cause my heart just would not love the light. How I drowned in lies and would not love truth. Now you're not by my side. I'd give my all to have and just one more day near truth. I risked my soul to feed my flesh sin intertwined, 'cause I wouldn't go on. I'm thinking of you in these torments, sorrow drenched in flames. Said it's wrong to love you, 'cause my heart just would not love the light. How I drowned in lies and would not live truth. Now you're not by my side. I'd give my all to have just one more day near truth. I risked my soul to feed my flesh sin intertwined, 'cause I wouldn't hold on to the memory of your precious cross. Now I've lost my soul and your love eternal. And Jesus, can you hear me? Imagining I'm praying into your ears. I now see you clearly, vividly emblazoned in my mind, and yet you're so far like a distant star. Oh, I wasted my life. I
I give my all to have just one more day on earth. I lost my soul, was reeled into a bottomless mind full of pain and no hope, and tortured by the memory of the gospel they gave me day and night. I rebelled into the night. Yeah. Oh, I give my all to have just one more chance with you. I live each day to praise your holy righteous might, and now I can't go on in these flames, but eternally they'll burn. Oh, why did I not give my all to Christ? Give my all to the Lord Jesus Christ. I'll sing until my battery dies. I'm so broken. There's a fire, the fallen set apart, reaching no heaven, ditched are their prayers while in the dark. Finally, they now see you crystal clear, went ahead and sold out to the devil that laid them bare. See how I'll leave with every piece of earth, with that they did underestimate just what you do. And now that fire's burning all their past, preaching with fervor, place them deeper into the dark. The scars of your love remind them hopeless. They keep on thinking that we almost had it all. The scars that your love had left you breathless. They can't help reeling. We could have had it all. Rolling in this deep pit, we turned our hearts to stone. We rebelled, and he played us into heat. Sadly, a love story to them told, but they held none in truth and were handed ahead to burn. Think now of gospel seed in the depths of their despair, how they made a home down where no torments will be spared. The scars of being blind remind them helpless. They keep on thinking that they thought they were not fallen. The stars that condemn now with them restless. They can't help weeping. We could have had it all. Facing no release, our flesh is burnt to bone with no death. How we played with our peace, we could have had it all. Mourning in the deep, he gave his life to free from this end, but we stayed so deceived. Through their souls, bred from eagles that did soar. Ooh, countless blessings to help find a narrow door. Oh, told their sorrow would be treasured gold. Ooh, but shot dead your eagles, now they've reached just what they sowed. We could have had it all. Eternally was scorned. We're torn, we burn, no call. We should have seen the fall of Satan from his feet, that since then he would turn humanity from God's worship, from being free. We should have heeded calls, worshipped at God's feet, turned hardened hearts to flesh, let him save us. Now we're severed, dismembered, resembling nothing but demon seed. I was able to sing for 8 minutes without my phone dying. Bye.